All right. Welcome everybody to the Grind2Hard podcast. Today we have Chef Clay, and unfortunately King Vic is not going to be here today. He's on the road. He's on his way to Tucson right now to pick up some brand new chairs for his shop. It's looking real nice, real clean, pristine, and he wanted to make them pristine when he got the wrong shipment in. He's like, nah, let me make this right. So he got on the road and made sure he got the right equipment. This guy's on a mission. Drip Studios, y'all, look out. It's going to be the #1 spot in El Paso. Welcome. So today we have a guest is in the realty business. We got Mr. Joseph Reynolds. It's a pleasure to meet you. And also thank you so much for being here, man. I appreciate you taking your time to come out here.
Of course.
Absolutely. So for this week, I just want to let you know, Vic won't be telling his story, but my story of this week has been great. I had great cooking experiences, but also I went to the Upper Valley market, farmer's market. It's the first time. You know, I work in that area every Sunday, but this week I actually stopped by, was invited by Wolf Dragon Farms, and he basically does like microgreens. He does hydroponic microgreens, and he invited me to stop by, and I was like, yeah, absolutely, I need to pick up some greens anyway. Seemed like 50 vendors in that spot, man. Seriously, like vendors, entrepreneurs, people out there like selling their product, their passion, you know, and had it out there in the hot sun, because I was there for like 2 hours just to talk to all the vendors. And man, I swear, like I have a suntan, because I was just like, I mean, it was a lot of talking, a lot of people, very interested, very motivated people. So I just want to give a couple shout outs. First of all, Cactus Flowers Honey. This is a New Mexico Desert Farm honey. This one right here I tasted it, and it's a cactus flower honey. It's very distinct in flavor. And what the gentleman says is that he owns the bees. So he has all the flowers and the bees, and each flower makes a different type of honey. So when I tasted this, I was like, very distinct, because I usually do wildflower and then a different regular type of honey. And this is really tasty. Right here is a tabola. This is a salsa hot matcha. This is really good. It's spicy. It has like lots of seeds, but it has actually like chile de árbol, so that makes it really, really spicy and flavorful. I looked at it and I was like, it's like a chimichurri. You know what I mean? They had a picture of a steak cut up, sliced, and then kind of just poured across of it. Man, I was just like, all right, so that's gonna be good to me. I know my clients are gonna like it. Big shout out to Sweet Meats. Sweet Meats, they're basically into making jams, and this one is a apple butter. So I'm gonna use this for toast, like not only toast but like French toast as a like a topping for it. But they have all kinds of jams, fresh made jams from pomegranate to apple to all kinds of different fruits and stuff like that. What do we got here? This one is salsa alma, another like really tasty from all the seeds and different flavors from the oil. Man. Shout out all these entrepreneurs that were at the farmers market. That was a fun event to stop by and get to know all these people. Let's see. So we have our guest, Mr. Joseph Reynolds, into real estate. Like I said, appreciate you being here. Want to get into your story, but how about your just the last 7 days? Tell me how's it been, man?
Oh man, it's been busy.
Yeah,
it's been real busy.
I can only imagine. I can only imagine, man. I can only imagine.
Yeah.
Anything you can want to talk about? How about like we met at the event about 2 weeks ago, right at that Hotel Del Norte, hosted by Elevate EP.
Fantastic.
How'd you like that event?
That was awesome. Sam Crowley was phenomenal,
wasn't he? Yeah.
All the speakers were very good.
Yeah, even the first two local speakers like had their story. Like they were like started when they were like under 30 years old, and one of the girls, Yesenia. She said that
Yaswina.
Yep. Man, she said that she basically was like, I'll work for free. I want to be in this industry. I'm gonna make it in this industry. So put me to work.
Jaswina's a good friend of mine.
Is that right?
And she hustles. She works her butt off.
Awesome.
She's
you know what I
awesome
mean?
With
Shout out
does.
Jaswina, because she walked up to me. I was networking with a couple of people at my table, and she walked up to me and she said, "Are you the best chef in town? Oh my, nice to meet you." I'm like, oh my goodness. Well, first of all, I'm flattered, like, because she's a beautiful lady. You know what I mean? Obviously from fashion to everything that she does. And I was like, thank you very much. It was a pleasure. I didn't get a chance to see her again because she was, went back to her table and we did our thing. But man,
she's
story,
super talented.
Her story, man, great, absolutely. Let's see, and then the Preston, the speaker, man, he had a lot of energy.
Yeah.
Did you enjoy it? Did you talk to him at all, Mr. Preston Brown?
No, but I have, and I love what he has to say. He's super charismatic.
Yeah,
he knows
that's
how
the
to
thing.
Engage a crowd, and he's always got a really good message to share.
Yeah, and he's about Elevate EP, right? So that's his thing. So he basically set up a continental breakfast for us. I mean, right there in the Hotel Hotel del Norte.
delicious.
$10 for that ticket. I mean, same one this week. This Saturday, you could check it out. Elevate EP's gonna do a same type of entrepreneur event. $10. If you want to look up Elevate EP, you can get those tickets and stop by, check that out. Oh, let's see. King Vic is here. Let's see if we can get him on. I don't know how I invite him. We'll figure it out. So the event, we walked out, and then we saw each other and like, hey man, you asked me because I had a podcast. Yeah, we started talking, and I was like, yeah, I'd love to have you on the podcast, man. So basically, our podcast here at Grind2Hard is about telling our story, our come up story. You know what I'm saying? Like I've told my story where I was basically in a hole and I used meditation to crawl out of it and build my business. You know what I mean? I started writing menus. I started talking to people while I was doing dishes. And it's like, hey, I'm going to come to your house and I'm going to cook for you. I'm going to cook for you in your house with my own tools, equipment, and you're going to have a 5-star menu, 4 courses. Be like, Clay, shut up, man. Like, keep doing dishes. You know what I mean? And eventually, like one person was like, yo, Clay, come over. You know what I mean? And that started a whole avalanche because, the pictures, I started my IG, everybody was interested. Like, wow, you can do that in my home. And then, it just got bigger and bigger to where I have like great clientele base.
Very nice.
Yeah, I'm turning my business to a side business. I'm going to start doing meal preps. You know what I mean? So it's like a whole, big ball just kept rolling and I just kept the momentum from all the people that supported me. So shout out everybody that supported Keeping It PC Personal Chef Service. This is Joseph Reynolds, though. We want to kind of hear your story. I don't know where you want to start. You did tell me you were from Michigan, right? That's where you're originally from?
Yeah, I was born in Michigan, and my parents, they got into real estate, bought a property out in Florida. I pretty much followed them down there.
Which is ironic because I told you I'm from South Florida as well, right? Yeah, awesome.
Fort Lauderdale,
Fort Lauderdale, yes, sir. Yeah.
That's where I was at. I was at Fort Lauderdale, and big shout out to everyone in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood, Florida, Miami, North Miami Beach.
What school did you go to?
No, I didn't go to school out there.
Okay.
I actually went to school in Michigan. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, but
it was
I was
after.
there. Yeah, so I'm not a native like you.
Okay. Yeah, I was only but I was there for 10 years. So I did middle school and high school. You know what I mean?
What school did you go to?
I went to Taravella. That's in Coral Springs. Yeah. Okay. Shout out anybody that's watching from Taravella. I bet you actually some of my friends from Florida. Yeah. They went to Taravella with me and stuff like that. But so Florida, like you basically saw like me, like the beautiful things in life and beach being close. You're like, God, I want this. You know what I mean? This is a beautiful life. Yeah, exactly.
I love Florida. It's expensive.
Yes, that's the number one thing. That's why my parents had to leave. You know what I mean? And I had to go with them. To go with them. But definitely a beautiful spot, man. Absolutely. Yeah. What year was this? I want to say it was like 2017 to about 2020, so I was there for about 3 years. Okay. And then when COVID happened, gosh, man, I was struggling to make it. I had lost my company, pretty much shut down. We were taking in sensitive information. I used to work in credit. Okay. And so we couldn't take, people's, personal information, and it pretty much put me in a tough spot. Oh, man. So I started looking. I was kind of done with Florida and the high cost of living. Yes, that'll do it, yeah, for sure.
Yeah.
It'll push you out.
Yeah.
Same.
And fortunately, I had a friend out here in El Paso, and talking to her, she's an awesome person. She's got a dance studio out here on the west side. Her name is Louisa. Shout out to Louisa. And she was pretty much telling me all about the real estate market out here and how affordable it was. And so, like, as you know, I'm sure, right, Florida, the price of houses out there is like
astronomical. Like $300,000 is like a basic house, right?
Yeah, for like in the hood with bullet holes in the windows.
Yeah, Deerfield Beach, right?
Exactly.
Yeah. Oh man.
And when I came here and I realized you could get a house for like, I don't know, 200,000 at the time, and you're living like a king. I'm I'm sold. And so, long story short, I shook hands with all my friends, packed up, came out here, and it was the best decision I ever made. I love El Paso.
Awesome, man.
El Paso has been so good to me, and it's just been a steady uphill climb.
That's what's up, man. Yeah, same here, man. Yeah. Being that I was born in El Paso, and then I was taken to South Florida, I came back like bitter, dude. Like, fucking, why am I here? I mean, I was in high school. Sure. I had to finish an extra year of high school, and I was so miserable. Yeah, I had to finish an extra year of high school. I was so miserable, man. It just wasn't a good time. Thank God, like that. Like I said, I was telling you, my uncle was like, "Hey, you know what? Come to culinary school in Arizona." Done. You know what I mean? Like I was like, all right. My grandfather had given me a '88 Lincoln Town Car. Shout out King Vic. What's good, man?
Oh, we're here, dog. Taking this road
trip, sir. Man. Hey, you on the road or what? Be safe, son. You good?
I'm on the road right now.
Look at that. Hey, it's beautiful day, though. Yeah. Beautiful day.
yeah, beautiful day to travel, bro. I'm on the road, fucking trying to go pick up these chairs.
All
So
right.
we can fucking capitalize, man.
All right. Excellent, man. Hey, shout out to fucking Vic. He's on the road trying to come up on these chairs, steadily bringing that drip studio to a pristine level. Yo, you don't even know. If you ain't at drip studio, you ain't getting the best haircut in town. Just so y'all know. Just so y'all know. And it's a full service. Just to let you know. My eyebrows. Have you checked my eyebrows? Look at these things, man. Yo, we miss you over here, dog.
Yo, I just want to stop by, man, and tell, you know what I mean? So have everybody support, you know what I mean? Every Friday, 9 a.m., Spotify, YouTube, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, you know where to find them, subscribe, listen, and share to that shit, man. But I will be back next week with a brand new episode. Me and Chef got Saturday. We're going to go to that convention together.
100. We'll be there on Saturday. The convention.
Get our knowledge on and shit, man. But yo, I'm going to let you guys go, man.
Absolutely.
To do.
Thanks for stopping by, motherfucker. Take it easy, all right? Be safe.
Peace.
Peace.
All right, Mr. Reynolds. We can get back to basically, like I was saying, like I was in El Paso, like I was so graduated. So I was 18 years old and sitting there, and my uncle's like, "Hey, you know what? Come to live with me, and you can go to culinary school." Man, it was like a godsend. You know what I mean? Like I was not like, thank God. I was just like, nah, let's go down this path. You know what I mean? Like I was happy-go-lucky, whatever. Not knowing like the turmoil my family was in, I just left. You know what I mean? And I started getting into a culinary school, and that was the best thing that ever happened in my life. You know what I mean? So
That's awesome.
Yeah. So where were you at that transition when you got to El Paso? What did you do when you hit the ground?
Man, my story is like, you know, from the bottom to.
Oh, really? Like,
yeah, I came here. So when I first came here, I was pretty much renting a room from my friend Luis. I was doing DoorDash. I was doing whatever I could, and then shortly after that, I met a guy who's one of my mentors. Phenomenal individual, and he happened to be in real estate. I had no clue. To the scale that he was in real estate. He's very, very successful in El Paso.
Do you want to give him a shout out?
Sure, absolutely. I'm going to give a shout out to Bobby Bowling of Tropicana Homes. Phenomenal guy, and sincerely one of the closest people I have in my life.
Oh man, we all need somebody like that in our lives, man. Just to just open up their arms and just say, hey, look, there's a better life. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And you know what? He was the one who set me off. I mean, I've been in real estate for about 8 years in various aspects. Right? I've done flips, I've done credit, I've done mortgage, but like, you know, it was really Bobby who set me off, and he said, go get your real estate license. Okay. And so I did, and I got my real estate license. Started closing a deal a month for a little while. I was doing well.
If I can stop you real quick, because I heard a lot of people that are always like, you know, I'm gonna go to real estate school. What does that entail to actually go to real estate school? Like,
yeah, good question. So Texas is one of the most difficult states to get licensed in. Okay. Like, for example, Florida, you can get licensed in like a week.
Oh, really? It's just a class.
Pretty much. The classes I think are 3 days. Here, it's it's like 4 to 6 weeks.
Okay. Wow.
and it's just they really test you.
And what are they testing? Like what your ability to
just understand everything from pretty much the law, understanding brokerage, understanding real estate investment. They go over a lot in a very short time. Like you go through a book about this thick in 1 week. It's crazy.
And then so you get through the course, and then you have your real estate license, right?
Well, you get through the courses, then you take a test.
Okay.
And that's where I think there's like a 50% pass-fail rate, so it's pretty tough. But once you pass, I think you got to do fingerprints too. And then once you do that and you pass a background check, you're on your way to getting licensed.
Awesome.
So
you get your license as a real estate in real estate. Where do you go? What is the avenue entail?
Yeah. Once you get licensed, the next step is pretty much you gotta look for a brokerage. You gotta find a brokerage that will sponsor you. And basically hold your license, and then
what would entice a brokerage to sponsor you?
Sure. So, I mean, it's really.
And sometimes it's always like not what you know, it's who you know. But I mean, like
that's true.
Yeah,
that's true.
But I mean, is there something that you could be like great at or stellar in to be sponsored or to? No?
Absolutely. I mean, yeah, sure. There's tons of niches in real estate. Okay. You know, some people.
I'm just totally green. I have no idea about real estate. Seriously, like if you there's one word that I can't think of it right now, but oh gosh, when you have to when you buy the house, I guess you
Flip it?
No, there's a technical term about like that the document that you sign.
Wholesaling.
I guess wholesaling. Ah, man, I can't think
Like
of the
where
word.
you put the house under contract and you sell the contract.
What is that called?
Yeah, that's wholesaling.
And what do you do? How's that work?
Yeah. So I essentially, a wholesaler comes in, they find a house that's in distress typically, and they'll go in and they'll see the opportunity with it, right?
Right.
What it could be, they put it under contract, and then they actually sell they don't own the house, but they'll sell the contract to an investor. An investor will come in, they'll buy it at a discounted price, and they beautify those things. They make them really nice, and then turn around and either sell it or turn it into a rental.
So there's like zero sweat in that game.
For a wholesaler, yeah. I mean, the risk is pretty minimal for the most part.
Right.
As far as I'm aware, I haven't done a whole lot of wholesaling, but yeah, I mean. It's a good little niche. To get
Interesting.
into.
All right, so let's go back. So once you get sponsored by a brokerage, what's your work? What's your job duties at that point?
Yeah, at that point, it depends what you do. Like some agents, they work with anybody and everybody. Some will work with strictly listings. Some will work with buyers.
Okay.
And essentially, it really depends on your niche. You know, like if you're going to work with buyers, you're out there hunting, looking for people who are in the market and trying to assist them. If you're working on listings, you're hunting for the houses to put up on the market. A
friend of mine, shout out Julian. He's the one who actually helped me with the house that I have right now. He's has like 5 or 6 Airbnbs.
Oh wow!
Yeah. So what kind of business would that be? Is that like wholesaling in a way or no? No. I mean,
no. That'd be like rentals.
Okay, rental properties.
Yeah, and it depends how he structures them. Like I've known some people who do Airbnbs. They don't even own the property. They go in and they rent out an apartment and sublet it. And they sublet it on Airbnb. And then there's others, they buy the property outright and turn it into a rental. And
yeah, so I guess as in the Airbnb, you can be like a super something or super
host.
Yeah. So that's what he is. And so what does that mean?
Yeah, I want to be the person to ask. I'm not too.
Okay.
I believe what it means is that he's got enough reviews and solid rentals. He's built that up.
Okay. Yeah. See, I love the fact that he's able to do that, and then he took one of his Airbnb properties and said, no, because I'm his personal chef. He's like, I'll rent it to you, and he gave him a great price for the rental. I mean, it's a great area by Eastwood. And that's a hard place to get into, you know what I mean? So I was like, thank God, you know what I mean? So I don't know how that works. I really respect the real estate game. It's just like zero that I know about it, honestly. Like I really respect that you got into it and you're here in El Paso, like promoting the city because the prices are good and the houses are beautiful, right?
Yeah. And specifically my niche is, what I do is I sell homes on the west side for Tropicana Homes.
For what's that?
Tropicana Homes.
Tropicana, okay, excellent.
And we have a little community. It's like this exclusive community called Green Acres, and they're like $500,000 homes, man.
Awesome,
they're
man.
Beautiful homes.
Awesome.
So, yeah.
Is there any address that you're actively trying to like sell at this moment?
Yeah. If you're in the market, swing by 6140 Aliester Drive. That's our model home, and yeah. People want to come by.
Excellent. Yeah, I'm in the area. Maybe I'll just stop by check what's going on.
Yeah, sure.
Yeah, actually, a lot of my clients live off of the Sunset in Donovan area. Yeah. So I don't know how close that is, but
we're Artcraft in Donovan.
So, Artcraft. Yeah. Oh, one of my clients is off of Artcraft too. Yeah, definitely. So I'll definitely stop by.
That's a good area. It's growing. There's a lot of action going on out there. So.
Awesome. So as far as like real estate, do you plan on like progressing your career?
100%.
Yeah. So what's your next step? What do you feel like?
Yeah, real estate for me is life.
Awesome.
I mean, this is, and this came true for me in El Paso. I love everything about it here in El Paso and the market here. But yeah, next step is just grind it out, and right now, last night I was up till like midnight, and that's becoming pretty regular. I wake up this morning at around 6, sometimes 4.
Yeah, you were here early. I appreciate you being here early, man. What's the grind? What's the grind? What are you actually doing? Like
I do a lot of marketing. I network with a lot of realtors. I go to a lot of networking events all across El Paso. It's just getting yourself out there, and
that's what it is, right? Networking, and that's what my actual crux, and I'm learning to work on it. You know what I mean? There's a book that I'm reading. It's about taking your fear of whatever it is and just diving into it. And
that's it.
Yeah,
that's it.
And that's it. I know it seems simple, but like for me, like I'm in like the room with all those entrepreneurs, and I'm confident in myself and my abilities, but I'm not confident saying, "Hi, I'm Clayton. Nice to meet you." You know what I mean? Like I don't know where the conversation is gonna go. My mind doesn't let me be settled in the moment. You know what I mean? So I tend to just, sit there. People come to me, I'll talk to them. I'm definitely be cordial and stuff like that. But there's like 8 other people that I wanted to talk to when I left the place, and I just didn't. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
I don't know why that is, or what advice would you give somebody who needs more networking in their life?
I relate with you, Clay.
Do you? Okay.
Because it can be very intimidating walking into a room full of strangers, and usually everyone's dressed impressed and they're on their game and they're trying to, and it can be intimidating. But at the end of the day, people are just people. We're all different. We all have got different experiences, but at the very core, we're just built up on emotions and thoughts, and you just try to relate and connect with people. And
yeah, right. Maybe it's more self-conscious then. Maybe I don't want to say the wrong things or bumble or fumble and stuff like that, and I choose not to engage. You know what I mean? I think that's what it is. But
and it's easier not to. I mean, you're in your comfort zone. It's easier to kind of stay in your comfort zone. But I agree. You got to overcome that fear and jump out there and just do it. And then you start to realize, this isn't too bad.
This isn't too bad, right? Exactly. I think so. Yeah. I mean, you were very cordial. I mean, you walked up to me, we talked, jammed real quick. I had no problem calling you, like inviting you to the podcast. It's good to be, open like that. And I tend to be closed-minded, but I'm really putting myself out there and then trying to learn rather than like, it's just not me. You know what I mean? So I'm just going to those events, putting myself out there, talking to the people. I even I knew for one, when I left there, I was like, I made a beeline toward Preston. I just want to introduce myself. I'm Chef Clay. I have Keeping It PC personal chef service, and it's really thank you for inviting me. Mr. Rubin invited me. Just kind of like introduce myself. So maybe next time, he knows who I am. We can talk a little bit more. You know what I mean? Yeah, because I feel like someone that's here in El Paso, multimillionaire, promoting El Paso, and his thing was like, if you're trying to make it in El Paso, you're in the wrong city. You need to go to San Antonio or Dallas. That he wants to change that whole MO and make El Paso part of that whole metropolitan cities that actually you can grow in. You know what I mean? And that's true. There's so many opportunities here. Like
I agree.
Me as a personal chef, I've gotten that. That people tell me, "Hey, Clay, you're a personal chef. You're great at what you do. You'll make 3 times the amount in San Antonio or Dallas." And I'm like, but I make a great living in El Paso, and I'm very happy. I have my kids here. You know what I mean? Like everything that I need is here. You know what I mean? I'd love to move to Florida. You know what I mean? Be next to the beach. That's in the plans. Maybe in a 10-year plan or something like that. But I love El Paso. I love the people. I love the way they receptive me. Like I said, I was in the dish pit trying to get people to come for me to cook from, and now I work for a doctor Monday through Friday. And I cook for his family every night. You know what I mean? So I'm blessed. You know what I mean? And I just want to pay it forward through the podcast, pay it forward to El Paso community. Promote any entrepreneur that has their game up. You know what I mean? And wants to sit there in the sun and try to sell their product and stuff like that. That's exactly who I am. I know that for a fact now. Like, I think maybe, going through culinary school, going through life, you're like, oh, I'm a chef. I'm going to cook. You know what I mean? But like, you don't understand the growth that you get when you actually are very confident in what you do, and then people see you, and then you realize that's your passion, and then you're like, wait, hold on, like I can motivate somebody else to find their passion. And that's what my calling was. Seriously, like my calling is to find other people's passion and let them know that they can make a living or just do it on a side hustle and be happy with life. You know what I mean? So many people go to work and they're just like, I hate fucking my job. I hate going to work. You know what I mean? And it doesn't have to be like that. You know what I mean? You can make a living and then still be happy. It's you don't have to make $1 million. You can have a certain amount of money, make 40 grand and be happy. You know what I mean? It's not about making thousands and thousands of dollars. Even though you can, it's a potential that you're got to exploit. Find your passion, and whatever it is, if you're selling honey, I guarantee you can make it into a lucrative business if you just keep working, grinding, and taking those blessings from God. You know what I mean? Any tips you can give to like as far as like a real estate business? You said you were up till 12. I know it's a grind. Any tips you can give somebody that is like, it's too much for me, this real estate thing?
Yeah. The biggest tip I would say is you got to stick with it through the difficult times, the good times, no matter what. You just got to keep going, and life will throw curveballs at you. There's tough things that have happened in my life. And I just, no matter what I said, I'm not quitting. I'm going to stay focused. I'm going to take anything that I've experienced, any pressure in life that I've gone through. I take all of that energy that might want to stop me, and I just push it right into my passion, and I just keep going no matter what, man. And I'm starting to see the fruits of my labor.
Good, man, because I know those bad days will pile up, and you're just ready to, like, throw in the towel sometimes.
To give up.
Yeah,
I mean, don't get me wrong. I've
yeah.
had days I wake up, I'm like, I don't want to get out of bed, man.
Yeah.
I get depressed. I'm struggling. I'm concerned. How am I gonna, financially, what's gonna happen? You're gonna have those moments, and you just got to get up and keep going.
Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. You've been putting in this work for a reason. You know what I mean? Yeah, the blessings will come. Absolutely.
Yeah.
Stay on the grind, y'all. Don't give up. Like, this whole real estate business, chef business, entrepreneurship, it takes a lot of work and a lot of L's. I'll tell you that right now. Like, I took a lot of L's, man. But those W's in between, they were big, man. They were really big, and I really cherish every single W. And when you take L's and you start getting those little W's and your L's are back to back, I promise you that W's start becoming back to back too. Seriously, put in the work, stay true, stay honest to your customers, your clients, and it comes back to you, dude. I swear to God. This whole podcast thing, like, when I started, I was like, first of all, I was invited to a podcast. No, I don't want to say that. I actually told somebody, I'd love to be on a podcast. That'd be interesting. You know what I mean? I don't know. It seemed like another route, another avenue to take down. And they were like, yeah, I know Sweet Jesus Radio. I can get him. I can talk to him. Maybe you can get you on. Sweet Jesus called me back. Shout out Sweet Jesus. He called me back and said, yeah, let's get you on the show. We did a little podcast, talked about my story, where I came from. And I was like, man, this is awesome. Like, it's like therapy. I mean, just getting your story out, for one, and then people listening and actually caring about it. You know what I mean? Like, it's really like therapy. So I was like, I'm going to start a podcast. And I was getting a haircut from Vic, and when we talk, you have a barber. I'm sure you just talk about anything with your barber.
I'm gonna reach out to Vic though. I'm about due. I'd like to see his face.
Oh no, we'll get you in, man. We'll get you in.
Vic,
it's right
give
here
me
off
a call,
of,
man.
Yeah, right here off of James Watt. We'll get you in whenever you're ready, man. Absolutely. But we were just jamming about life and stuff like that. I'm like, dude, this is the guy for the podcast. Like, let's do it. And I was like, hey, you're interested? And he's like, but eventually we got on. Just sitting here and doing the podcast, it's really therapy, and it's also like my way of paying it forward, dude. Seriously, like, I hope somebody gets like official Jared right there. Absolutely true. So I'm gonna shout out this guy officially Jared on IG. So we all have our low moments, man. I worked at Costco for 12 years, and just grinding at Costco is, I didn't want to be a grocer. I was like, I make a great living. I have good benefits. My family's taken care of, but I'm just not happy. I was on one of those days where I was just like gonna pull my hair out. I walked out of the building, and I walked to my car, put my head in my hands, and I was just ready to cry, bro. Because I was just so angry and so mad about life and where it was. Like, yeah, I'm taking care of my family. Yeah, I have a great living. Yeah, I make good money. I'm not fucking happy though, and that's the point. You know what I mean? I'm just not fucking happy. And like my wife at the time, like, really supported me in things that I did, but like was scared if I made a move from Costco. So it's like I was stuck. I felt stuck, you know what I mean? And so there I am with my hands in my head in my hands, and Jared out of nowhere texts me this motivating paragraph that just put everything in behind me, bro. Everything was just behind me, and I just like cried for a different reason. And I just thank God for having a friendship he lives in Oklahoma. You know what I mean? Like, he doesn't know me. He just sent that message, and it picked me up like bigger than shit. You know what I mean? Like, I swear to God, like, I just got out of that car, went back to work, like, forget about everything. And I swear this guy's a kindred spirit in my life. Seriously. Like, so shout out officially Jared. He really helped me out, and we talk every so often. You know what I mean? Like, he's doing good. I'm doing good. Maybe he's doing bad, but we just send a message, just kind of, hey, keep going, and stuff like that. So I think we need people like that. That's one good aspect of social media. Like, you're able to make these connections with people that you don't even know face to face. You know what I mean? You just know by their grind and their passion and things like that. So shout out, Mr. Jared. I fell off a little bit from our conversation, but is there somewhere you want to pick off? No. So for me, like, the podcast is a way of therapy. Like, is there something that you use in your life, like meditation or working out, that helps you stay centered?
Yeah. I mean, I work out pretty regularly.
Do you?
Yeah. You
just
get those
by
endorphins
weights?
Going, and it just helps your mindset. I do a lot of weightlifting. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you ever tried meditating?
I do a little bit of meditating.
Yeah.
Yep. I do some meditating.
Okay.
And,
like yoga?
I'm sorry?
You ever done yoga or
Yoga?
anything? No?
I don't think I could.
You could sit still like that? No?
I don't think I'd make it in yoga. I see some of these people in the forums. I'm like, man, I don't know if I.
It's like a next. It's a progressive thing for me. Like I feel like I've done meditation. I've done like kickboxing, which is kind of rigorous. I want to like kind of level it down to yoga. You know what I mean? Like it seems like the rigorousness of kickboxing, of kicking a bag and sweating and stuff like that. I want to kind of just tone it down and kind of more control my emotions.
Sure.
You know what I mean? Like, because that's the reason that I really like kickboxing is because I'm learning to like not be angry so much as to be in control.
That makes sense.
Yeah, it
does.
does.
That's good.
And that's what I'm like, where I have a switch where it's like, okay, I'm normal, but then I'm angry.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, it's like, this is my life though. Like the past 3 years, I've changed to where I'm more of a kind type of person. Kindness is the answer to everything.
Yeah.
And I'll argue with anybody about that. Kindness is the answer to anything. Is if you can be kind in the face of disrespect, that's the ultimate strength. It's not a weakness. You know what I'm saying? So I've changed my life to that, but I still have that switch. You know what I mean? Like someone cuts me off. I have to be something drastic. More like someone cuts you off, flips you off, and then wants to like kind of dog you. I'll get in that mode. I'll feel the hair come up my back, and it's like, no, I'm just angry. I'm just like pissed. You know what I mean? I'll say whatever I have to say. So I've learned to kind of control that, to be in the moment and to be in control rather than letting my emotions take over. You know what I mean?
Yes.
And so that's where I've gotten kickboxing, and I've just like excelled. I go every day. Yesterday I worked so hard, and I learned the hard way to breathe. I threw up. You know what I mean? Like I realized though, like I'm not the type of person to just be like, oh fuck, I threw up. Like I researched it. Like what happened? You know what I mean? Like why did I throw up at practice yesterday? And it said that I wasn't breathing correctly. So you hold in your breath, you're holding in carbon dioxide.
Really?
You're building up lactic acid in your stomach, and then your digestive system starts going out of whack.
Wow.
And then boom, you know what I mean? It just comes up. So I was like, all right, so let me focus on my breathing. I walked in today and I was talking to coach, and I was like, hey coach, I want to focus on my breathing today. He's like, all right, well come here, like let me show you, like, so shadow box. And I was like, boom, boom. And he I remember him telling me in previous practices, it's a matter of breathing out and then bringing it back, and then every time you hit, and then you got to make that noise. It's not like you're trying to like show off or nothing like that. That's your breathing technique. Just like you have a technique from throwing a hook, just like you have a technique for throwing a right, you have to have technique in breathing. And I swear to God, it was night and day from yesterday and today as far as like just changing that one thing as far as my breathing technique. So
no kidding.
Another way to stay in control and not let your emotions overcome you is to breathe.
Yeah.
Life is hard. So let me tell you, like, something happens traumatically, you're just liable to be just stuck, you know what I mean? Not breathing. And then that'll mess up your whole body, your whole, symmetry in your body. So breathing, you know what I mean? Like, in fights or in a rigorous time, it's obviously, and it helps you breathe because like you're breathing out so much that you need to breathe in. It's a natural, circulation.
Makes sense.
In life, like during the day, like when something happens and I start getting clammy in my hands, it's more of a breathing technique where I breathe in for 7 seconds, and I'll hold it for 3, and then breathe out for 5. Okay, so that's like a little thing that you get enough oxygen and you're breathing out. It
does work.
It does work. And for me, like I'll start feeling the clammy hands, you know what I mean, and my heart rate, and I'm like, oh shoot. And it could be with sitting down at a date with a woman, or it could be just talking to somebody that I think is more, I don't know, like more progressed in life, which I don't know how, and then I'll be intimidated, you know what I mean? So I just got to breathe. And I realized that. So be in control of your body. Don't let your body be in control of you. Stuff like that, you know what I mean? So kickboxing has been a great thing for me. When I started meditating, obviously I got on top of my game and I thought I was doing wonderful. And then I hit a roadblock, which is depression. I don't know if you've ever felt depression.
Oh yeah.
Do you have any tactics to tackle depression? Yeah,
depression's one of those things that can be crippling.
Yeah,
like
for sure.
It can just totally derail you from whatever you're on in life. And one of the things that I've done is I agree with the meditation. You gotta be able to get your thoughts in organ. You gotta get perspective.
Sure.
And then also for me, I practice faith, man. I try to have faith, and I do pray and whatnot.
Absolutely.
And just having faith that my mind will tell me you're not going anywhere. Mm-hmm. You're not going to make it. Reality may be different, But that's just the fear, you know. You hear the cliche that people say, it's faith over fear, you know.
100%.
And I agree with that, man. You got to have some form of faith to believe that, you know, something is going to carry you forward and it's going to work out. If you don't have faith, I mean, I don't know how some people get through it, because otherwise, like you said, my emotions just jump in and I start tripping out, you know. And I'm like, oh my gosh, what is happening in life? And things may be okay, but it's just like, you know, maybe this little currents triggered me, and I'm like questioning everything now, you know. And,
I grew up Catholic and in a spiritual type of family, and I wish I had a better relationship with God, but my thing is I always thank God. I'm very appreciative for all the things that I've had, my kids' health, you know what I mean? Like me even like getting my car back out of the garage, you know what I mean? Like those are things that I thank God for. I don't necessarily, I paid for it and I, you know, made it happen, you know. It's like, thank God, you know what I mean? Thank you for this blessing that I can get my car and go to work, you know what I mean? It was hard using the Ubers and, you know, getting to where I need to go and stuff like that. It was hard. So, it's like
being thankful,
having an
attitude
being
of
thankful,
gratitude,
attitude of gratitude. Yes, absolutely.
It.
If you can have that gratitude, like it's just another like facet in your life that's gonna make you feel better. You know what I mean? Day to day, and it comes back. You know what I mean? It's like karma. You know what I mean? The gratitude comes back when they're like, you know what? That not only did that guy have passion, but like I think he was like he had some gratitude, and that humbleness will just carry. It does carry in relationships with you know, it's not what you know, it's who you know. Sometimes they think about that. You know what I mean? Like, you know what I mean? When you're thinking about who you want on your team, you're like, you know, that humbleness really goes a long way, honestly. So so like I said, when I was going through that depression, I told my audience this, but basically there was just a Saturday that I was numb. I couldn't do nothing, man. I was just in my head all day long, dude. Thank God I had met Ricky Savage Diamond. He's the coach at the Savage Academy, and he just randomly said hi. You know, it was just like, hey, you follow me? Oh, okay, how you doing? Nice to meet you. And I was like, dude, you know what? This depression sucks. I think I'm gonna go do something for myself and go, you know, do that kickboxing class. It's a free one. Changed my life, dude. Seriously, like, cause like hitting the bag is one thing, right? You're getting aggression out, but 8 weeks later, man, my body looks great. To me, like, I'm not like where I want to be, obviously, but like I love not being like that flabby self that I was, you know what I mean? I just didn't care about my body. I would eat whatever and do whatever. Now I'm disciplined, bro. Like, you would never catch Clayton Berry, a disciplined cat, man. Seriously, like, I just do whatever the fuck I want. Used to play video games and eat garbage, and you know what I mean? And as a chef, like, that's okay, I guess, but more for me, I love the discipline, doing things like waking up, eating breakfast, making a protein shake, trying to make it on time to the gym, you know what I mean? Not like 5 after, or, you know what I mean, like whenever. It's like be there at 9 so I could wrap up and get ready and be ready, you know what I'm saying? So that whole discipline thing is definitely helped me out. So basically, like, what was your low? Like, the depression for me, that was my low. Like, what type of low was your depression?
Man, my low is I've had a lot of failures in life. I've tried to start up businesses. I've failed relationships. I've had a lot of failures, and my deepest low was you know, through all those failures, I found myself waking up one day and you know, I had messed up so big. I was in a position of homelessness. And,
man.
Yeah, and I didn't know if I was going to make it out of that.
Sorry to hear that, brother.
It was tough, but you know, man, I surrounded myself around good, solid people.
Was this in Florida or El Paso?
This was no. This was actually back in Michigan. Yeah.
Oh wow, man.
It was pretty rough. And so, anyways.
And Michigan is just a rough place to be anyway, right? What's the part? I mean, I heard. I mean, the snow. It was the pictures of Detroit I've seen.
Speaking of depression, I mean, you get like 4 to 6 months of no sunshine during the winters. You know, then you got Detroit, you got Flint. I mean, it can be a tough place to be for sure. But man, I picked myself back up and just surrounded myself around people who had what I wanted. And they encouraged me, and they just showed me a better way of life and showed me how to live life. And you know, I overcame it, and you know, little by little, you know, next thing I know is I'm going from being homeless to selling homes and financing homes.
That's what's up, man. You know, and I hate to do this too, but I've talked to Ricky. He said the same thing, kind of similar, man. Oh yeah. And I just want to like put you in that. Were you living in your car, or were just completely homeless?
Man, I was totally homeless. Yeah, like in homeless shelters. It was
damn. So like, if you don't mind, like, would you just like, can you just like jump in to that time and in your mind, like your mindset, like of being actually homeless? Because I've been like on the low, but not actually homeless. Thank God I've had like family to take me in a couple of times and stuff like that. But even then, you just don't have the greatest thoughts about yourself.
Oh, for sure. I felt, you know, I remember sitting on the side of the street and watching all the cars go by, watching everyone move on with their normal lives, and I was sitting there. I didn't even have a car, man. I was that homeless and just sitting on the side of the street, feeling like a complete, utter, hopeless loser.
Man.
Not seeing a way forward. I mean, the depression was there, and it was to an extreme for sure. It's a miracle. That's why I say, you know, my faith is big, because I don't know how I got
You still had faith in those times?
I did. Absolutely, I
Awesome.
did. That was about actually being at that bottom was the best thing that ever happened to me, because I had to. I was searching for meaning. You know, I had lost everything. I was searching for meaning, and I found it in my faith, and you know, little by little, you know, I believe God took care of me through that.
That's awesome,
you know?
man. Because like I swear, like I in my darkest moments, dude, I would love to say that I was like, you know, God will get me through this, but I wasn't, dude. I was really betting on myself. And
well, I look at it as long as you have air in your lungs, and you still got food, and you're a chef, so you're so you're good there.
I was. Thank God. Yeah, I could make food for myself. Yeah,
like,
absolutely.
you know, I thank God for the simple things. You know, just having air in my lungs, just today having another day.
Really,
on the
like
surface,
honestly,
you know?
like I think that I feel like that's really hard, because I've had a lot of things happen in my life. But if I was homeless, dude, and I didn't have a car or family to like fall back on, I'll be honest with you, man. I just don't think that I would be into faith. I apologize, man.
No, absolutely. And trust me, there were days I wasn't. You know, there was a point where I woke up and I realized I was at my bottom, and there was only one way, and that was up, you know. And it was like, either, honestly, if I'm 100% transparent, it was either I was gonna off myself, or I was gonna get up and do something about where I was at. And it does take faith, because that's why I say, like, every single day was a challenge when you're in that position. Every single day was a struggle. And I say faith because I chose every single day, it's gonna get better. I'm gonna get through this, no matter how damaged I felt internally, no matter how negative I was. You know,
like beating up yourself. Why did I make the decision? Why did I do that?
And instead of making things worse and digging the hole deeper, I chose to just keep building. And
that's awesome, man.
And
that's awesome, brother.
Yeah, it was a real tough journey. And I know a lot of people who, you know, you'd meet people in homeless shelters and all sorts of people from different backgrounds.
Yeah, I'm
very,
sure.
very smart people. People with master's degrees. You know, I mean, I've met people
just
like
made
that.
wrong decisions. And,
yeah, exactly. Or you know, you just meet all sorts of people in those difficult situations, and man, wow, you know, it's just unfortunately a lot of them just couldn't. It does take some ability to put your faith into something, take some strength to get through it, because I've had a lot of friends who they couldn't keep going. It was too much for them.
And I can really appreciate that 1,000%. If anybody's out there feeling that kind of a depression, or in the low where you're actually homeless or thinking about hurting yourself, like, faith will help you, honestly. When you know that God has your back and he's sending the ship for you, you just got to wait and look, keep your eyes open. You know what I mean? Like, keep your eyes open. Like, thank God in my life, like I said, I was in that low and I wasn't looking toward God. I was looking internally, like, why is my life like this? Why am I dealing with this? I've dealt with so much in my life, and why this now? And now I feel like I'm not going anywhere. Thank God, and I say that, thank God, seriously, because thank God he sent me my cousin Teresa in that moment. Like, she's my cousin. I talk to her often. But in this moment, she was really like, well, you know, like, try meditating, Clay, and here's a book, and here's a passage, and here's a 15-minute meditation. I'm like, okay. But little by little, I started believing in myself through those meditations. I just was like, I can make it, dude. I'm progressing. Like, I don't really feel the way I felt yesterday. You know what I mean? I'm not as sad because I see kind of a light at the tunnel. You know, if I just keep going, in my mind, it was like the menus. In my mind, it was like my business plan. In my mind, it was like, networking. I gotta be humble, and it was Gary Vee too. I don't know if you follow Gary
yeah.
Vee.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
For
So
sure.
Gary Vee talks about being humble. I mean, when I first saw him, he looked like my dad. I mean, seriously, like, cause he's like, fuck you and fuck this, you know what I mean? Like, he was just all fucking high energy, and I was like, no. I was like, no, that's not for me, man. That's just, I want to go a different direction. As I kept getting into him, he is all about kindness. You know, kindness is the answer, and gratitude is the answer. So I started thinking about that. Okay, so kindness, and I'd go to work and I'd be like, well, let me try to be kind. Let me look, and I looked up to God, like, give me the strength, please, to just be kind in this moment. And once I did that, I realized, like, it's a strength, because it's just like punching somebody. When you're kind and they still want to be disrespectful in your face, and you're just kind, maybe they might aggress more, but like 9 times out of 10, they just understand, like, okay, I'm done. Like, you know what I mean? It's just a different, more respect. It's more respect that I can control my emotions in that whole disrespectful situation. So
just retraining your thinking,
retraining your
negative
thinking.
thoughts
Absolutely.
out. Like, that's what you
Yeah,
did, man. And
absolutely.
That's why,
reprogramming is what they call it in meditation.
Exactly.
Reprogramming all the stuff that your parents taught you, that you've seen, all the negative things that you thought was a great asset to your life and stuff like that. Yeah. No, I used to think that having a mug and being intimidating was the way to be. Like that's how you're gonna get through life, dude. And
Sure.
now that I'm like kind and humble, like, I just love being that way, because I have more friends. Not only friends, but people that respect me. You know what I'm saying? Like, who I am and my passion and my drive and stuff like that. So I just keep going like this 100%, man. And I thank you for sharing for that whole homeless time, because I bet there's somebody that is either on their way or in the mud right now, man, and faith is gonna get you through it. Meditation will get it through you through it as well. Those are 2 key things that will help you get out of it, as well as working out. You know what I mean? Taking your physical body to a different level. You know, that discipline helps you realize it's possible, and it's all in here. It's all mental. You know what I'm saying? Do you want it or do you not? You know what I mean? It's a matter of getting up in the morning and going, making that space-time movement in, you know what I mean, through to get to your goals and stuff like that. It's not easy. It's not easy. It's hard work, and there's not always, like as we talked about, there's always going to be those L's and L's, but once you get those W's, start stacking them up, and then just keep going, man. Keep going. So let me ask you your phase right after the homelessness. I guess you said you surrounded yourself with people that are gonna like motivate you, or just gave you like time of day, maybe, or invited you to lunch or something like that.
Yeah, exactly that. I just plugged in, and
Good,
church and support groups, whatever I could to, I got people's phone numbers. I'd reach out to people. They'd give me some advice on, and a lot of people, you'd be surprised, everybody's got a story, man. Everybody's got pain. Everyone has those keys to help you out of that hole that you're in, and that's.
If you're genuine, then you want to be out of the hole, though. You're not.
If
just,
you're genuine, that's true. Because there's a lot of
a lot of people that are a lot of pretenders that are just ready to stay in the mud.
Yeah, and it's like you said. I mean, Clay, it takes work, but I think I just share all of that because if you are one, I figure if you're one of those people out there who does feel like you're in that mud and you're struggling to get out. I mean, I hope there's some hope that they can get from my story and
100%,
and recognize that it absolutely can get better no matter where you're at in life.
Yeah.
Things can improve if you're willing to put in some work and work on yourself and I mean, it's
you got to be willing to put in the work, though. That's the thing. I think I don't know if I got divorced in 2020 time. Before that, like you said, I wasn't willing to put in the time. I was willing to go to work 8 hours and then come home and play video games and like chill. That was my MO, dude. Seriously, like even my kids, like I can remember taking care of them. They were like, that if you ask them about me taking care of them like during the day when they were off, it was like me in my room sleeping or whatever, and then them like out there like watching videos, and you know what I mean. I swear I work day to day to be a better father as well, because like sure. I was not the best father in those times. I mean, I'm a great person, and they have a great personalities, and we really had great times. But as far as being like the solid father that I'd like to be, I'm trying to be that now.
There's always more to improve on. I mean, I'm 1,000%. Not where I want to be.
Sure.
No matter where you're at, for sure.
Sure. Do you have kids?
No kids.
No kids. All right.
I'm sure I could learn a lot about you when I, learn from you when I have kids one day.
God bless, man. You will have kids
and
one day,
I have respect to all the parents out there. I look at my parents. I'm like, God bless my mother and father, man.
Yeah, for sure. Exactly.
Put them through some tough times.
and my girls are 14 and 15 right now, so they're about to put me through the mud. But no, they're great kids. Honestly, they're great kids. Shout out to my kids, Skylar and Annabelle and CJ. They're doing great in school, like A's and B's. I mean, straight A's almost. Basically straight A's. My oldest daughter, she's in wrestling. She's in her second year of wrestling, and she's excelling. She doesn't want to be like, oh, I go to wrestling. No, she's like, I go to wrestling and I want to get better. You know what I mean? She puts in the work and stuff like that. Awesome. Annabelle, my second daughter, she's more of an athlete. She'll do everything. Like, she does wrestling. It's like, whatever. I could do this. And she does it. You know what I mean? She's learning the rigorous, hard practice to get to wrestling, but she could do it. I mean, she's so athletic. She can do it anything. You know what I'm saying? And this is a cancer survivor. My daughter Annabelle, when she was 5 years old, had kidney cancer. She had her kidney removed, and she lives today with one kidney, and she does everything like perfect, just like anybody else, man. Beautiful, my beautiful daughters, they're great. And then my son CJ is 5 years old, so he's barely, coming out of his cocoon, you know what I mean, getting his voice and his personality and things like that. So, God bless for those kids. And like I said, I'm working day to day to be a better father, and all those things when you work makes you a better person. You know what I mean? Like, but if you're willing to put in the work, some people are like, they don't want to see me. They don't call me. You know what I mean? Like, it's on them. It's not on them. It's on you as a parent to make the effort and make the time to see them and stuff like that. Because kids not gonna reach out. They're not gonna be like, I mean, if it's dire, if it's bad, of course they're gonna reach out. And thank God they're not in that moment. You know what I mean? They're really happy. My ex-wife takes care of them, great and stuff like that. So I'm blessed, you know what I mean? So when I put in work, I'm seriously trying to make time and do things and spend time with my kids and stuff like that. So all these avenues, you got to put in work, you know what I mean? What is more important in your life? And then you become a whole person, you know what I mean? Like this whole entrepreneur thing, what spurred you to go to the event over at Paso del Norte?
Well, I mean, kind of like Sam Crowley mentioned in the event, always saying yes, right? He mentioned that, and that's how I am with networking events and everything that has to do with real estate. Mm-hmm. If there's an opportunity there, I say yes. So when I found out about Preston Brown's Elevate, I jumped on it. I went to the very first one they did, and then
so there was one before this?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. The one that was at Starbright or whatever.
Yeah. They had a gentleman there who was speaking about stocks and investing in stocks. It was really, really cool information and a good time. Met a lot of really good people. I figured I'll go to the next one.
The Momentum one? Is that what it was?
No, maybe it was the second one, actually.
Okay.
Maybe it wasn't the first one.
Okay.
Because Momentum was the first,
I'm not even sure, because I went to Momentum, and then that was my second event that we went to at the Paso del Norte. So
yeah, because I didn't make it to that one.
No?
Momentum.
Okay.
I would have.
Well, that one was I was invited by Mr. Ruben Alvarez again to that one, and that one was pretty neat. They had like six speakers, like his 6 Sam Crowley's up there, man. It was really motivating. Yeah, it was really good. So I think he's gonna do another one next year. That's like a bigger conference, more than an event. It's like a conference. So I think he's gonna try to double the amount of people. So I'm sure you'll be there for that one, dude. So this week we'll be at the Paso del Norte. Preston Brown's doing another event for Elevate EP. Can't wait to see what that's going to entail. It's got to be just as good or better than last week. So, anything else coming up for you, man? You want to talk about it, or you want to plug?
No, not that I can think of.
Yeah, you got your house that you let them know where the show house is, so they can come stop by.
Come visit me at
Tropicana. Yep. That's your
Tropicana Homes. Yes,
Tropicana Homes. Okay, yeah. So shout out, because like I don't want like to put down anybody or any businesses, but Sarasota Homes on the west side, I just haven't seen the quality. But Tropicana, I love the homes over there, man. Even though they're $500,000. What's the actual, like, if we were to get to that? It's because, like, what's the cross streets, the closest cross streets to that?
Artcraft and Donovan.
Okay.
So you get to the corner of Artcraft and Donovan, and then if you're going down Artcraft, there's like a turnabout. You're going to go around the turnabout, and then it's on the first street on the right, and can't miss it.
Okay.
There's a big sign there. It'll have my name on it. And,
oh, really? Okay.
Yeah. So I invite everyone to come out, check them out.
Joseph Reynolds, y'all. Joseph Reynolds. Excellent. Well, I mean, I just want to thank you for being on the show, man. Like,
thank you.
I really appreciate you coming and telling your story. This is going to motivate a lot of people, I'm telling you.
I hope so.
And I hope it motivates you, man. Like, I appreciate you being on this podcast and like sharing your story, because that helps people, man. And I liked hearing your story, man.
I just want to say, Clay, you're a phenomenal individual, and
dude,
I appreciate your transparency. I've been following your podcast as well.
Thank you, man. I appreciate it.
Awesome.
And like they said at the event, vulnerability equals credibility, and it's true, man. Seriously, like, people believe what I'm saying, and I'm saying everything honest about my life. And who knew? Like, I was being put through the mud so I could say it in a microphone. You know what I mean? Like, shout out God. You know what I'm saying? Like, yeah, thank you. In the moment, it sucked, but I cherish all that. No,
too.
I do. You do, huh?
Me too.
And that's where we come together, man. Seriously, that's where we are gonna be alike. Because I see your faith, I see your passion, and I only see success in your future. Seriously, Joseph. Yeah,
likewise.
Keep going, man. So, like I said, thank you for tuning in this one. We're gonna miss Vic, but like next week we'll get King Vic back on here. Stay positive, y'all. Stay motivated, and don't forget to keep going. You got to keep going, working hard. Thank you very much for tuning in. Appreciate you, Mr. Reynolds, for being here. 100% great episode, man. Thank you.